the Catalonian national anthem. I'm not sure if anyone's attempted this before. For those who don't have the link already that we posted online, if you can search in Google, and you have obviously a smartphone, if you can search in Google for Catalonian National Anthem English subtitles, that's Catalonian. We were looking for one without an advert at the beginning, but I think that's unavoidable. So Catalonian National Anthem English subtitles, and it's the first video that comes up. Now, there may be a 5-second advert at the beginning, so we'll just, accept that as part of modern life. And at the very end of all the speakers, I'm going to count to 3, and hopefully we can all press play at the same time. And obviously, for everybody that does know the Catalonian national anthem, please sing along and help, because I'm sure we'll need it. I'll give out the information at the end. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, and that is Adam Johannes from Cardiff People's Assembly.
Hello, my name is Adam Johannes. I'm from Cardiff People's Assembly, a citizens movement that aims to build a political revolution in this city that can take power out of the hands of the corporate elite and place it back where it belongs, in the hands of you, the people. I think that this Catalan revolt marks a new phase in the struggle for the people's Europe. We have now reached a point of no return. I believe that this is the beginning of the end of the Kingdom of Spain and the regime of 1978, a regime that was established under the shadow of dictatorship, whose constitution refuses to recognize the right of self-determination of Catalan people, and that has as one of its central pillars free market capitalism. Now, today is the birthday of Gandhi, and I think he would be very proud of the mass civil disobedience that we've seen across Catalonia. We've seen the mass student occupation at the University of Barcelona, a student strike that brought tens of thousands of people onto the streets. We saw high school students occupy their schools, and over the weekend we saw parents' unions, parents' associations, and education unions, and teenagers and children occupy their schools to keep them open as polling stations. We've also seen the Farmers' Union mobilize hundreds upon hundreds of tractors to defend polling stations, to blockade the ports, to stop the ships where Spanish police, riot police, were seeking to come to attack Catalan rights. We've seen a great proud for the firefighters, the banner of the Firefighters Brigade, Fire Brigade Union of Wales is behind me, because we saw incredible scenes of hundreds of firefighters forming human walls of solidarity around polling stations. But we've also seen unprecedented repression. We saw Spanish police scenes of Spanish police breaking voters' fingers one by one, dragging people attempting to vote by their hair across the floor. We saw people thrown down the stairs, police battering people, and in scenes that we should never see in a European country of the 21st century. We saw rubber bullets fired at people for the simple crime of attempting to participate in a democratic ballot. And also, most horrifyingly, we saw reports today the Spanish police also carried out sexual assaults against women, and I support the call of Ada Colau, the mayor of Barcelona, who said all Spanish police out of Catalonia now. But none of this has stopped people defying the Spanish state. We saw over 3 million people participate in this ballot, overwhelmingly for independence, so we salute those movements. So I just want to end by saying that tomorrow over 40 trade unions and popular organizations are calling for a general strike. And just to give an idea of how deep and wide this general strike goes across Catalan society, Barcelona FC today announced that they're joining the general strike, and even Catholic monks and monasteries have said that they're downing tools and going on strike to protest the violence of the Spanish state. So these are scenes we haven't seen in Western Europe for some time of popular resistance. But of course our own government Theresa May has refused to condemn the Spanish state, and today the European Union, to a shame, sided with the Spanish state against the Catalan people. And I think we have to put the European elites on notice today to say we will not let you crush the people of Catalonia, let you crush the people of Greece in 2015 when they voted for an anti-austerity government. We're building a new people's Europe from below. Now, I'm just going to end by being candid and controversial because I think quite disgracefully a few days ago, our Welsh government, Mark Drayford, was asked to make a statement on what was happening in Catalonia, and he said, and I quote his exact words, as a matter of principle, we in the Welsh government do not comment on international affairs. And we have to say, this same line was used during the Iraq War for our First Minister to say, I'm going to sit on the fence of the Iraq War, and yet we saw the Scottish First Minister and Ken Livingstone's Mayor of London not only join anti-war demonstrations but publicly speak out against the war. We saw the same line of non-devolved issue used over the question of nuclear weapons to vote down our assembly opposing nuclear weapons, and yet Scottish Labour and the SNP were able to unite to commit the Scottish Parliament to opposing nuclear weapons. So I think our fight today has to start for a Welsh government that opposes wars abroad, that opposes nuclear weapons, that stands with the Palestinians, that stands against arms industries, that supports anti-austerity struggles across Europe and the world, that fans the flames of revolt here. Because we are now at a crossroads in Welsh politics. Do we go backwards? Do we go politics as usual? Or do we go politics of change? Austerity must be confronted head on, and that's why in the People's Assembly we're calling upon all the political parties in Wales to unite to say that the Welsh Government will not pass another cuts budget, will stand up to the Tories just as the Catalan people and Catalan government are standing up to their government. Because we have to build a new movement, a movement from below, and we have a tremendous struggle ahead. It may be a moral struggle, it may be a physical struggle, but there has to be struggle. So solidarity with Catalonia, victory to the general strike tomorrow, and thank you on behalf of Cardiff People's Assembly, and see you on the streets.
Diolch yn fawr iawn I Adam Johannes o'r Cardiff People's Assembly. Nesa, I ni'n mynd I gael datganiad gan Gareth Club, Prif Weithredwr Plaid Cymru. Our next statement is from the Chief Executive of Plaid Cymru, and he is here to say a few words. Diolch, Gareth.
Ar ran Plaid Cymru, datganaf gefnogaeth lawn ein plaid ni I bobl Catalonia a'i brwydr heddychlon dros annibyniaeth. O'r cychwyn cyntaf, rydym wedi ymrwymo'n llwyr I frawdoliaeth gyda Catalonia. Bydd 3 gwleidydd blaenllaw Plaid Cymru draw yn Catalonia yn arsylwyr etholiad rhyngwladol ar wahoddiad Llywodraeth Catalonia a'n chwaer blaid ni sy'n partner yn y Llywodraeth honno. Bydd aelodau o blaid ifanc a'i mudiau ieuenctid yn heidio I Catalonia I sefyll ochr yn ochr â phobl ifanc y wlad honno. Pobl ifanc sydd yn mynnu eu lle yn natblygiad hanes eu gwlad. Pobl ifanc sydd yn deheu am ddyfodol well iddynt hwy ac i'r cenedlaethau I ddod. You will all have witnessed the violence and police brutality that was unleashed by the Spanish state against voters. And let's be clear, we don't recognise the media description of protesters clashing with police. These were not protesters, they were voters, citizens, people like you and me. They were not clashing with police, they were attacked. At the same time we condemn those attacks, we praise the Catalan police and firefighters who defended their citizens. We now need the European Union to act. Plaid Cymru, like our sister party in Catalonia, supports European unity and solidarity. But the leaders of Europe will only act if there is pressure on them from the grassroots and from the citizens of Europe. I gyfeillion, that's the purpose of this meeting here tonight. Friends, the Catalan people must not stand alone. Our solidarity matters, and our solidarity is cherished by Catalonia's leaders and her people. We've been contacted by Catalonia's Foreign Minister, Raúl Morera, who has urged Plaid Cymru to continue to express its solidarity, continue to speak at rallies, and to continue to take whatever action we can. And as long as there's breath in our bodies, comrades, we will continue to express our solidarity with the people of Catalonia. We will need to do more in the coming weeks and months as the referendum result is taken forward. I thank the organisers of tonight's rally, and I thank each and every one of you who has attended. Let's keep on sending that clear message. Supporting the Catalans is a Welsh tradition, going back decades into our history. Wales stands with Catalonia tonight. The people of Wales stand shoulder to shoulder with the people of Catalonia. And in the fullness of time, both our nations will be free.
Nawr, gaf fi just sôn hefyd hashtags, os oes unrhyw un o diddordeb, Cymru for Catalonia. If anybody's sharing anything online, it'd be great to catch up with it later. Nesa, mae gyda ni siaradwr o Catalonia, o Iwalodda, Dani Cabezas. We have a speaker from Catalonia who's going to share his experiences in the run-up to this, as well as what's been going on the ground over the last few weeks. And he is from Iwalodda, and his name is Dani Cabezas. A warm welcome, please.
I would like to say thank you, first of all, for giving me the chance to talk here. It's really difficult to say anything tonight here, because there's lots of people here that may or might not agree with the independence of Catalonia, but the important thing here is that we are defending the human rights that were violated yesterday in the entire country. Yesterday, the Prime Minister of Spain literally said it didn't happen. Apparently for him, the fact that millions of people took the streets to vote, it didn't happen. Well, clearly he has to change his point of view in that. Sorry. He's got a feature. Yeah. He said that the police act correctly with whatever happened yesterday in Catalonia, defending the constitutional rights. But I think that he forgot to mention that there were also hundreds of hurt people, and also the violation of some essential human rights, like the Article 3, the freedom from torture or inhuman or degrading treatment. We saw that when all the police forces were dragging people out of the polling stations, they were throwing them out the stairs. There was a person that had a heart attack. They were trying to do CPR on him, and the civil ward was pushing people towards that person. I also like to say that the Article 5 right to liberty and security was extremely violated yesterday. There was no security at all. Freedom of expression was clearly not happening yesterday. All the polling stations that got closed, all the ballot boxes that were taken, that's not freedom of expression. Article 11 says freedom of assembly and association. That clearly wasn't right yesterday when all the civil guards were attacking all the civilians that were receiving them with their hands up and as a sign of peace. I want to send a message to the European Union. I want to quote the Article 2 of the Lisbon Treaty, which says, the Union is founded on the values of respect for human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, the rule of law, and respect for the human rights, including the rights of the persons belonging to minorities. These values are common to the member states. In a society in which pluralism, not discrimination, tolerance, justice, solidarity, and equality between women and men prevail. Every leader in the European Union needs to remember this, because what happened yesterday was a clear violation of a treaty that themselves signed. The world needs to realize that Spain is still living in the shadows of the dictatorship. Spain is a country that has a law called the gag law, la llei Mordassa, which basically doesn't allow people the freedom of speech. It denies the right of meet and gather, and it also stops you from being able to record police or any kind of police act. So the people need to realize that Spain, with all together, is still in a dictatorship, and that has to change now.
That's amazing. Thank you very much. It's fantastic to hear your words and to get that perspective, which we're all here for. Next up, mae dyn ni'r prifardd Osian Rhys Jones. We've got the bard Osian Rhys Jones, who won the chair at this year's National Eisteddfod, and he has written a poem about the Catalonian referendum. Dyma Osian Rhys Jones.
Thank you. Mi'n I ddeud yng Nghaerfyn y munud. I will finish with a short Welsh poem, but I would just like to say thank you for the touching words we've heard tonight from Catalonia. They've certainly touched me, and I'd like to say that watching the events unfold yesterday on Twitter, not on the mainstream media, but on Twitter, it really shocked me that the events that we saw could actually happen today. I think of those type of events as things that happen in history lessons and on archive TV footage, not in 2017. And it became apparent very soon, watching these pictures, that it wasn't about whether you believe Catalonia should be independent or not. It was all about the Catalonian people being allowed to exercise their democratic right and their human right to express their beliefs and express their identity. Dyna pam bod hi'n bwysig I bod ni'n cyd-sefyll efo pobl Catalonia heno a unrhyw bobl eraill o gwmpas y byd sydd yn wynebu gwrthrwm o'r math yma. Catalonia. Heddiw, fe gywilyddiais. bron nad rhyfel a welais, a'i law drom heb gelu drais. I fyny hawl yn fan hyn, dawn drech na'r bwled wedyn y miloedd coch a melyn. Felyn a choch difalais, ewch i'r blwch, chi'r rhai heb lais, o stryd weidlyd a'ch pleidlais. No, nes i, nid gormes yw eich eto cheiddiant chi heddiw. Awn i'w ddweud yn rhydd ydyw. Diolch.
Diolch yn fawr iawn i Osian Rhys Jones, a diolch yn fawr iawn i bawb nath siarad ac i chi gyd am fod yma heno. Thank you very much to Osian Rhys Jones for the beautiful poem. Thank you for everybody that's taken part tonight. Thank you all for being here. We stand in solidarity with the people of Catalonia. We are going to try and attempt this national anthem via Google thing, if everybody's up for it. Just to see. So, Catalonian National Anthem, English subtitles in Google. It's the first video that comes up. Is everybody there? Okay. We might have to deal with very varying adverts. Made personal, I'm sure. But don't worry. So here we go. And obviously, for you Catalonians here and for people that know the anthem, please help us and sing. Diolch yn fawr iawn. So after 3. 1, 2, 3, play!